You like Bojack, right?
Love Bojack.
Bojack.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Very
James.
good. I love Bojack too.
I will talk about it. Like this will be a Bojack episode of the podcast.
I would love to hear it.
I Bojack. If it's not Taskmaster Any Given Day, Bojack is my favorite show of all time. It is nearly perfect in my opinion. I think they're like the lowest points of that, like the worst points of that show are still amazing. Like people bash season 1.
I was about to say I don't like season 1.
It's still good. It's good TV.
It's more episodic than serialized, and and now like 90% of shows are serialized. I get more involved with the characters when it's a story and not just because how long can you do like a sitcom
Rick and Morty,
nowadays?
an additional 80 episodes.
Yes,
apparently.
but I don't know if you watch it, but they did make it. It's weird because it's episodic and it's serialized.
Yeah, I have been watching. I think there was a new episode recently. That
It was the season finale. It's pretty good.
But
that one it looped in the storyline. You get you get Rick's story, you get Evil Morty, you get everything.
Yeah, I definitely like Community era Dan Harmon rather than Rick and Morty era Dan Harmon. I don't think they overlapped at all.
I don't know.
Maybe season 6 was.
When did Community start?
Community started.
Stopped.
It stopped in 16.
I think there might have been like a year overlap.
I don't know, but I like Community more than Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so BoJack is obviously season 6 episode 11.
Is that the last season?
Episode 15.
Is that the last season? The last episode?
Second to last episode.
That was like my favorite episode. Like I'm really just getting a little shivs. Just
my favorite episode is season 5, episode 11, which is the showstopper.
Which one was that?
Don't stop dancing till the curtain falls.
I don't remember that one.
It's the I don't want to spoil much, but it's the it's with Stephanie Beatrice's character.
With the drugs?
No, that's Kristen Schultz.
Okay. You could spoil it. I'm
not gonna spoil it. I genuinely, if there's one thing I'm not gonna spoil, it's gonna be BoJack.
Fine.
But yeah, so fantastic television. It has so much heart. It has so much comedy. It has so much devastation. And but like I've definitely both. I think the last 3 parts. So it was like season 5, season 6 part 1, season 6 part 2. I watched them all in one day.
Really?
Yeah, and season 6 part 1 and 2 I watched as they came out in a dorm, on the TV, back to 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 back.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
From 3 a.m. until like 7 a.m. or 6 or 7 a.m.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You must have been exhausted.
For those who tuned out and stopped watching and are tuning back in, I'm not wearing glasses anymore.
Yes. The glasses are off.
And who are you now?
My name is Jesse James.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And I'm the Addams family.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, but BoJack, it gave, because most people write off animation as just like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that. It's not up to par. It's not my standard.
Yeah.
Like I think animation gives so much more creative freedom.
Yeah.
To the writers and to what you want to do.
I'm a big background jokes guy. And BoJack, there's a literal Instagram account dedicated to BoJack hidden background jokes.
Just the stuff in the back.
Yeah.
It's so good. They are very prone to detail. Do you think they write that into the script, or do you think they do that?
That's something that I think Lisa Hannawalt's team probably takes care of. She's the like artist behind BoJack. But yeah, I don't think it's something that goes into the script. I'd say some things do.
Yeah, because I know you can't just write something into the script as like if you don't reference it.
Yeah.
So I always wondered for like clever stuff like that, if they do put it in, or it's just like
I'd
the
say
artist.
The monkey, or like I forget what animal it is, but the animal coming down with a T-shirt that says "Stop pausing the show" and reading the background jokes. I don't think that was written into the script.
Fair. Those are so funny though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it's just the detail. The level of detail is
Yeah.
impeccable, and that's what I like about Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Is just they have a thing that Walt used to use. I guess this was for Disneyland. What
There's a blue
is that?
whale underneath the floorboards.
Yeah, what is? I do not know what they're doing in this house. They literally, you see this house. They do not do construction on it, ever.
I mean, it does look like they are actively doing construction on the house.
Yeah, this is like the first time since the 80s. But Walt always had a thing for the level of detail. You should be able to go up to a doorknob and see the paint chipping off.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, an awesome way. And that's why Disney World and Disneyland are so immersive.
Yeah.
Because it's just, the detail is there. And that's what Bojack's doing too. And it just adds so much to a show. Because some people just like, because they just do it for the money. They're like, we're just going to pump this out.
Yeah.
If it's shit, it's shit. We just need it to make some money.
And I'm gonna say let's do the show that we're both thinking about right now on 3. All right.
Oh, like there's a lot.
There's a very specific one that I think you think that you might know that I'm gonna reference.
I don't know.
All right, I'll just say it.
Yeah,
The
what do
Big
you
Bang
think?
Theory.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Honestly, I know saying this might shoot me in the foot eventually, but if you had a say in, like, not just if you worked on it. If you worked on it, I get it. You have bills to pay. If you had a say in what made The Big Bang Theory what it is, fuck you.
Is it still running?
You. No, it's thankfully done, but you know
Yeah.
it is running. Young Sheldon.
Oh my.
Which is, I guess, better, probably. Like, I've seen it on the background a little bit, and,
Yeah.
like, it's a single camera. There's no laugh track.
I hate laugh tracks so much.
Yeah, I'm less, like... I don't necessarily hate them. I think it's lazy, and I think if you're doing it in this year of our Lord 2021...
Yes.
Is that the year of our Lord?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm chill with
Yeah,
Jesus
they
here.
they changed it. Like one king. I don't know the history.
Okay.
One king after the year 0, R0 was like, we should reset that to 0.
Yeah.
And they
So
did.
if you're using a laugh track in this, the year of our Lord 2021, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's
are you
bad. It's bad. It's so overdone. It's like, don't tell me when to laugh. I'm gonna laugh when I want to laugh.
And hear me out, James.
Yeah.
If they don't tell you where to laugh in The Big Bang Theory, you won't.
True. Same with Friends.
Yeah.
Take it out. It's terrible. Oh, I do like Friends, but it's just, I don't.
I mean, no one told you life was going to be this way.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of
Your
the
job's a
lyrics
joke,
of this
bro.
song.
Your love life's to your way.
Is that in it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single full episode of Friends.
Really?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, but the laugh tracks, I don't like them. I think you got to be more creative than that. And that's why, like, for me, I want character development.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets me in a show. So when I see Bojack's story of going, like, through his addiction, trying to get back down, ruining all his relationships, like,
Yeah.
why would you, the first thing is, like, why would you ever like this asshole character?
Right.
And they make you love him. I liked him.
Yes. I would say through season 1 and 2. Yes.
Yeah, he turned into a shithead.
Yeah.
Definitely. But we still watched him.
Yeah.
You know, they still made us like him.
Yeah. I think the great thing. I think Bojack Horseman does a lot to at least in the later seasons, to give people the tools to escape from or break bonds with those who are toxic to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, Diane is a great example of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like, when I made the joke earlier about make sure if your relationship isn't going well that you stay in it forever,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's genuinely something that so many people struggle with. And I think, like, using my platform here on this podcast, the bad role models, and also James Cunningham podcast, I would say, like, just be, if you can't be happy with yourself, and if the people you're with can't be happy with themselves, take a break.
Yeah.
Take some time off. And yeah, I know, like, me personally, I've had friends that, like, just one of us has outgrown the other. And I think, like, at some point I've struggled with being okay with that on either end. But I think I've grown more, and I think I'm having that happen less and less often.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think BoJack, it makes you think all of the time, and it makes you think about who you're sympathizing with. And I'm in several Facebook groups about BoJack Horseman, and people still don't get it. And I think that's the only criticism I have of the show, is it doesn't go as far as I think it could in really punishing and really it does really a really good job in not punishing the characters that in the real world would not be punished. But people take that as, I love BoJack Horseman, he didn't get punished, so that's good. I'm glad he's better now.
I think his whole life was a punishment, though.
But that doesn't help.
That's fair. I do think when you have to live with yourself like that, pushing everyone away, that's punishment enough. When no one loves you, like, and you're doing it to yourself when you could simply change, like that's pretty brutal. But like, what kind of punishment would you like to see?
Well, BoJack's line, or I think it might have been Diane, who said, "Do you really think that the biggest victim in the BoJack Horseman story is BoJack Horseman?" And it's not.
Yeah, no.
But I think that, it's and while they're like, I don't know a specific punishment I want for him, but just like, it shows that people who do terrible things and have a history of doing terrible things can still be pretty much fine if they are in BoJack's status as a person.
Yeah, I mean, we do see that a lot.
Yeah.
And it does suck, because going back to your point of being able to detach from people, when you're so comfortable, like we see it in domestic abuse, it's like, this is like what I know. And a lot comes from our childhood of, this is what I know. Like, this is how I was raised. I can't act any differently. And when you don't understand, like, this isn't a healthy relationship, or even if you do and you want to get out of it, it's like, well, where do I go? Like, what am I supposed to do? So it's so difficult for people just to leave, because it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary to go into something that they think, and even for like mental health things, some people are like, I'm not going to be funny, or I'm not going to be successful if I'm not messed up. Like, if I'm not stressed, or if I'm not anxious, like, that's where the comedy comes from.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, I've personally struggled with that. I think that's true. I thought that's true, but it's not. Like, we don't need to struggle, because comedy kind of does come from struggle and pain and like twisting it. But I don't think it's needed or necessary to make someone good at what they do. Yeah, I think it's a trick of the mind.
I think comedy comes more from honesty and vulnerability. And I think, excuse me, great podcasting, by the way, from me especially. But yeah, I think that comedy comes from letting your inhibitions down. And like, something I do at Unicycle actually is, before every time we shoot in studio, I have our anchors. Literally, I turn off the microphones. Yeah. You know this. I have them turn off the microphones, and I have them scream at the top of their lungs. And sometimes they go like, ah! And I just say, no, that's not good enough. Because if you aren't willing, in the company of the 7 people in the studio who you're friends with and have known for a couple of years, if you're not willing to just let out a scream that is just, ah! Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to scream that loud because I'm on a podcast. But if you're not willing to let out your just...
It's like letting your guard down.
Yeah, it's letting your guard down. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be funny. If you're going to come in to if you're going to tell a joke about horses in the water for a water polo game, and you're going to say it like, yes, and there are horses in the water and it's a water polo game, you're not going to be free. You're not going to be funny, really. Yeah. So I make an effort to make sure that people are able to let their guard down, because otherwise you freeze up, and you just, like, humans are very good at fitting in for the most part. Like, I can do a pretty good job of, in any room, not being weird, not being awful. That being said, comedy doesn't allow you to have that privacy even.
Yeah.
So like if I feel comfortable, I am a very different person than if I don't feel comfortable. And I think I'm more true to myself if that even exists when I am not comfortable. When I am comfortable. Because if I have trust, if I have a connection with somebody, I can show more of myself and not have a fear of retaliation or a fear of just like you leaving this room when I go to class later. You go into your class and say, "Oh, Adam's weird." Like I don't want that to happen.
Hey, I like when people are them. That's my whole thing. Like I used to go for my church. We did search.
Go Jesus.
Go Jesus. We do, yes. They're called search retreats, and they're like peer retreats. And you go, I went on 1 year I was a member, one I was a team member, and then I was a co-leader. But the whole point is you tell your story. There's different sections of whatever, but your story comes out. And the whole thing is like we're taking off the masks that we wear and showing our authentic self, because we wear these masks to prevent harm towards ourselves, because no one likes to get hurt. Everyone wants to be accepted. But for me, and I think for everyone, for happiness, like we do have to be ourselves. We have to be open. But it is hard because no one likes when their heart's being jabbed.
Yeah.
And when someone says, I don't like what you're saying, and it's the same thing with opinions too. We kind of attach ourselves to our opinions. So when someone hurts our opinions, it's like it's hurting us.